See, like, there's a word, like, I used to always joke around with people, say I'm one of the most selfish people that you'll ever meet, right? They're like, no, you're not. You're always giving and stuff. But it's like, being selfish is being aware of who you are and your talents and your gifts and your life's purpose and all that stuff, and understanding that, and then living from that point, right? And a lot of it has to do with being a person that tries to do good. Not always being successful at it, but tries, right? And the idea is to be able to look at yourself like that, and be able to understand that it's okay to be walking and trip, right? And you have to be okay. It's okay that but again, it goes back to that constant pressure that society and everything outside of us put on ourselves for this idea of perfectionism and success and all this. It's like, in order to achieve that, you also have to be forgive not just the other people that have trespassed against you, but also yourself for being human.
Yeah.
For being in this evolutionary game of trial and error, and not taking it so personal. Some people don't really care. Some people are okay with it. But if you are that type of person that is like, you take it all that stuff in and saying that is a result of who you are as a person, you have to do that. And I'm speaking for myself mostly.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. And hopefully this resonates with others. But the idea is like, you have to be able to be more compassionate with who you are.
Well, I think that a lot of people would agree that are watching or listening that the people that we're most hardest on is ourselves. And when we're hard on other people, oftentimes when we are able to self-reflect and really dig deep into what that was about, what was that all about, is the idea of, oh, I'm projecting my shit onto this person, and I am blaming them. You know what I mean? I think that happens in relationships. I think sometimes we do that where we're angry about something that's completely outside of the other person, but we're going to make it about that other person because we have to dump it somewhere to make ourselves feel better. And that's hard to do because you have to be able to say, I got to forgive myself for being this way towards that person. And I got to be able to, forgive, just the process, you know what I mean, of going through what you're going through.
And again, it's like, this is some of the, from a mythological standpoint, right, from that metaphorical way of looking at from, particularly like the Christ in terms of turning the other cheek and forgiving, these are things that are, I believe, that are in there because innately inside of us, we are prone to vengeance. We are prone to anger. We are prone to those things when people do us wrong, right? And then what we constantly keep doing, and it is then we start projecting outwardly, right? And we start building our defenses.
Makes ourselves feel better.
Yeah, but it also encloses us in because now we need to be secured. Now we need to be protected from the others because we don't want to feel any pain and we don't want to feel all these different things, right? And what we truly haven't done is to forgiving people for being human, right? And that, and granted, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be wary and protective of in situations, but when the things do happen, we can't continue to close ourselves in to become something other than.
Right. Yeah. So we talked about a couple of the disadvantages, but and most of them are obviously, the physical and the mental and the emotional well-being, how you take a hit there, but also it has an effect on your relationships with people.
It does.
I think that it causes a wedge or it's definitely a wedge between people, whether it's your spouse, significant other, children, parents, whatnot. And it's also, it limits your potential for growth.
Yeah.
I think because you, like you just said, you enclose yourself in. And so there's no opportunity for opportunities that might arise from that